Nobody in the world, nobody in history has ever gotten their freedom by appealing to the moral sense of the people who were oppressing them. Assata Shakur. You know how I do. Let's talk about some of those word meanings before we get into who is Assata Shakur and what that quote means. So, appealing is the first word. Appealing to a person or an organization means that you are asking them to honor a serious, important request quickly, sometimes life or death. People who are being mistreated, abused, and are falsely accused often appeal to leaders in the judicial system or courts for help. Sadly, their appeals are often unheard, not taken seriously, or denied. When Assata Shakur appealed for justice, it was denied. So she escaped and is now, in her own words, a 20th century escaped slave, because she fled the U.S. to escape the racism and violence that Black, Indigenous, and other people of color experience at the hands of the government. Moral is another word in the quote that might not be very familiar. It actually has two meanings, as it can be an adjective, which is a word that describes a noun, or it can be a noun. In the quote, no, I'm not telling, you tell me. It can mean a person's character, referring to how they care about right versus wrong or good versus bad. A person's moral character will tell you if they are decent or indecent, if they are good or bad, or kind versus evil. The other meaning of the word moral is a noun. It can mean a lesson that someone learns, or it can refer to a person's standards of good or bad. Oppressing someone is when a person or system uses its power or influence to mistreat and or abuse people. Prison is considered by many as a modern-day means of enslaving people, especially Black people. Documentaries have shown that many prisoners endure oppressive living conditions such as inadequate housing, unhealthy food, poor or no medical and mental health treatment, and even more than that. Because Assata Shakur fled her oppression, she was the first woman placed on the FBI's most wanted list. The reward for her capture is now $2 million. Now you're probably wondering, what did she do for them to place a $2 million reward for her? Well, this former Black Panther civil rights activist was accused of murdering a law enforcement officer. Despite her innocence, they still sentenced her to prison. This is why she said you cannot appeal to the moral sense of people for your freedom. Find out more on her website or in her autobiography.